more prosperous, wonderful new year into 2020. Good evening, welcome to HSN. The next 2 hours, a special edition of the Andrew Lessman Show. Yesterday, of course, a huge day. So many of you opting to purchase Secure Meal Replacement today's special, glucosamine and chondroitin today's special. When Andrew is here, when it's a special visit, we have special pricing. And through the course of tonight, with our final show of this particular visit, you'll be able to enjoy all the special pricing. Tonight, we're going to cover a lot of ground, a lot of products, including at the top of 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the world launch, the official launch, as it were, of Choco Nouveau Cafe. We're excited to talk about that. And then at the end of 10 p.m., my pick for the new year. And I believe Andrew is standing by on the phone. Andrew, what a wonderful day it was yesterday.
It was a crazy day, and we're still reeling, recovering in Henderson, Nevada, because we have so much work to do to process the back order, because we had to make so many more bottles of Secure than we ever had anticipated. So we're busy, and we're going to try to get everything shipped to HSN within the next week or two, which means it will get to you within a week or two of that at most. But we wanted to make sure that everyone got to take advantage of that incredible pricing.
And Andrew, it just goes to show, as we always discuss, the product that you bring to HSN, it's truly freshly made, as it were. It's not sat in a warehouse for months and months and even years.
No, we make the product, it gets shipped to HSN, and then it gets shipped to you. So it really is, as we say, it's manufactured direct. Yeah. And that's not the way typical vitamins are available in the U.S. In fact, most companies from whom you buy vitamins never manufactured anything. It's made for them by somebody else, not made directly for you.
Well, tonight we have a wonderful selection of things that we get to talk about. And first up, Andrew, I actually have my card where I wrote down what you first said about Digest Assure. You said to me, digestion is all about the enzymes, and sometimes we need a little assistance.
Well, if there were no enzymes, we couldn't even exist, because we couldn't extract the goodness, the nutrients that we need in foods. They're complex, whether we're eating fruits or vegetables, grains, or whether we're eating animal food. Those molecules are all complex molecules in these living organisms. In order for us to extract what we need to break them down. Within our body, we have to perform this work, and that's performed by enzymes that at a temperature like 98.6 degrees, the temperature inside our body, we are able to perform chemical work. You could put vegetables, you could put a steak in an oven or on a stove. You heat it, it doesn't break down. But the way we break down the food in our stomach is courtesy, in our digestive system, is courtesy of these incredible molecules that facilitate that chemical change in the foods, exposing the molecules so we can absorb them and we can benefit from them. But as we get older, the stress, different things affect our ability to create the enzymes that we need to digest the food we eat. And Digest Assure, it's an incredibly well-reviewed product. It's an incredibly straightforward product, because all we try to do is supplement the enzymes that as we get older, we don't have the same availability.
Well, I mean, you just go to the supermarket, Andrew, or the drugstore, and there's an aisle of products dedicated to digestive issues.
Well, basically dedicated to indigestion. And indigestion means not digesting. So what we're trying to do here is support healthy digestion. And so many of us even take these new age antacids, the proton pump inhibitors and things like that. And when we decrease acid, we generally don't have too much acid. We might have too much sensitivity to that acid, but unfortunately, as we reduce the acid, we reduce the capacity of our body to digest food. Acid is an essential component of the digestive process. So that's another point behind Digest Assure, is that Digest Assure compensates by providing more enzymes. It wouldn't be good for most of us to provide more acid. So a way to overcome that is by providing more of the enzymes we need to overcome the acid that that isn't there to facilitate the digestion.
It's a wonderful product, and Andrew, you mentioned the reviews, 600 plus 5-star reviews. Pricing today is fantastic. I want to take you through because, again, New Year's extra savings event. You're able to save across the board tonight on all of Andrew's products, a 6180 or the 360 caps. That's where the price is going to be. That's what it is today. So saving you $35 on the larger size. Recommendation in terms of when to take these, Andrew?
I use DigestAssure when I have a large meal, especially a meal that might have things that are more challenging to digest. For many of us, that might even be things like a large portion of protein. But the key is if your body's digesting your food fine and you don't have any digestive issues, then not a problem. But if you just want to give your digestive system that additional support where it really needs it most, the most important functional part of the chemical process that is digestion.
Yes.
And what I often say, the nastiest industrial process that takes place in our body is the digesting of food. We put foreign matter into our body. We tell our body, in the presence of incredible amounts of acid at a pH of 1 or 2, almost as acidic as it could be, we tell our body to chemically break down that food, extract what we need, and then get rid of about 99% of it before it poses a problem. And digestion is all courtesy of enzymes. So if we want that work to take place as best it can, we need to make sure we have an adequate supply of enzymes, which time, aging, is not kind to that process.
Well, as we move along to our second item, something that I love to talk about, I've always been a big believer in aloe vera. Andrew, tens of thousands of years, I suppose it's been regarded as that soothing ingredient. A lot of us think of aloe vera as a kind of topical ingredient that we put on maybe to an irritation. I love this product, and I'm thrilled that we get to kind of talk about it. It's not often on the air.
And aloe vera, if we put it on, say, a burn or irritation, what we typically do, we'll go to that inner fillet, the meatiest part of the aloe vera, where it's really almost like a gel, not even like a liquid, and that's what we'll apply. And that's exactly what we use in this product. This is a 200-to-1 concentrate, meaning we take the inner fillet of the aloe vera plant, discard the rest, and then we concentrate that down 200 times. And of course, we never expose it to heat because that would damage the fragile molecules that are so healing in aloe vera. I'm not sure if I've spoken about this product on air probably in recent years almost. Our original aloe vera was 100. Then we went to 200 milligrams. Now it's 400 milligrams. And it's the finest aloe vera you're going to find anywhere. And if you just want something soothing and natural, the end of the year, we're often a little bit unkind to our digestive system. The holidays, I think it starts with Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas, New Year's. And aloe vera is just a wonderful thank you and a little bit of something for our digestive system to support its natural soothing and healing properties.
How important is it, Andrew, when it says in the description that it is cold processed and ultra concentrated? Is that different to other forms that we might find on the market?
Oh, it's critical. You'll often find like an aloe vera beverage, which is mostly water, and then other products are found in tablets that would be exposed to heat. It's actually very important because the most important molecules, the most protective molecules in aloe vera are actually very heat labile. What that means is that they actually will change in the presence of heat. So if you want aloe vera, you know, when we put aloe vera in Henderson, Nevada, I have aloe vera in my garden. Wow. If Muriel or I burn myself in the kitchen or whatever it might be, then we just go out to the garden, you cut off a little piece of the aloe vera plant, and you apply the gel directly. So you don't heat it, because if you heat it, you're doing something that damages the healing properties. So absolutely, positively, you don't want it exposed to any extremes of temperature, and you want to concentrate the beneficial parts. Not the entire aloe vera plant isn't beneficial, so you need to target the portion that is, which has been well established for thousands of years, and that's that gel that's present in the inner fillet, and that's all we use, and that's exactly what we concentrate.
Well, it's a great opportunity to order it tonight. Again, as Andrew mentioned, as I said, very rarely on the air. If you want to see the pricing, I don't have a chart, but you can see it on the side of the screen. There's a 30, 60, 120 or a 240. Everything that you order today is free shipping and handling, so bear that in mind. You know, we can talk about helping to soothe and help, whether it's the gastrointestinal lining or whether it's going to be benefits for joints or the immune system. It seems to be a long, long list, Andrew, of the positive impact this can have on our lives.
Are we still talking about aloe vera?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I know we're talking about fiber mucil next, and
yes.
I thought you were describing fiber mucil. So, because it too offers a long list of benefits. But aloe vera, again, there are a lot of folks who swear by aloe vera not for its soothing properties for their digestive system, but for the soothing properties for their joints.
Yes.
Or for the beneficial properties to their skin.
Right.
So again, and again, as we often say about our skin or our joints, the only way to really affect those tissues is via the inside of our body. Our skin, in particular, we might see it on the outside of our body, but it really requires that we deliver those nutrients to the inside of our body where our skin is manufactured and created, not the outside. So aloe vera, most people target it for its soothing benefits, at least in a supplement, soothing benefits for the digestive system. But we also have reviews, and we also, many people have always focused on it for its benefits to the joints as well as the benefits to the skin.
Well, it feels like a big year, being 2020, a new decade, maybe a fresh start. It's time to kind of tackle some of those things that plague us. And one of the things that we know for a fact is that most of us are not getting enough fiber in our diet. And Andrew just said it, we're gonna do fiber mucil right now. Gentle, enjoyable, easy, effective. It promotes regularity and digestive health. Just shy of 1,000 5-star reviews, really affordable. And as we say time and time again, a fiber product that, yes, is essential to our overall health, but Andrew, a fiber product that doesn't come with any of that kind of negativity that we're so used to experiencing.
Well, typical fiber products are just, plain unpleasant to use.
Right.
And we tried to make some fiber beverages, but the only fiber beverages that will be pleasant won't contain real natural fiber. Because real natural fiber is going to be a bit like sawdust. The only way it's going to work is if you turn it into, say, a hot cereal, like whether it be oatmeal or oat bran. But our fiber mucil, it goes directly in a capsule, and it's as potent and powerful as it is just as gentle. Natural fiber is not something that the more potent and effective it becomes, the more problematic it becomes. And this product, we eliminate all the problems you've ever had with fiber. The capsules, of course, are easy to swallow. They're small. This is gentle. It's not going to cause gas. And the key to fiber is really we all struggle with regularity. And regularity is not maybe all of us, but the majority of us do. And regularity is directly related to our fiber and our hydration, our fluid intake. And fiber mucil is incredibly affordable in the largest size. We're talking about less than 10 cents a capsule, actually about 10 cents a capsule in the 2 large sizes. So it's incredibly affordable. You don't have to, like typical products, you don't have to take a handful of capsules. 1 or 2 capsules is all you need to take with a meal. And that's going to give you the fiber that will make a significant difference, such that, as I say, this is the one product, if I'm traveling, I don't want to leave home without it.
Well, we often, and truly, I've heard you say that live on the air, Andrew, and I just opened up one of the capsules so people can see. This is an ultra, ultra, ultra fine powder. So when we say gentle, we mean gentle in every respect. I mean, Andrew, it's like it's dust, isn't it?
And fiber can only work if it can distribute itself fully and completely in your digestive system, with your digestive contents.
Right.
If it's some rock-hard tablet, it's not going to accomplish that. And just, DigestAssure, Aloe Vera are, I think, both 4.6-star products.
Yep.
Even fiber mucil fiber is usually the product people love to hate, right there with omega-3s.
Sure.
But I think our fiber is also a 4.6-star product.
It is indeed. 1,132 reviews, of which 932 are perfect. We're showing a review on screen, Andrew, where the title says Beyond Excellent. And that's just a perfect way to describe it. I mean, so many happy experiences, because ultimately, when we're not getting the fiber, it might be constipation, it might be bloating, it might be just that feeling of unease, you feel unsettled. It's not a good way to live, and many, many people live that way.
No, I think many people say it's a good hair day, but I think for anyone struggling with regularity or constipation, it's not a good day when things aren't regular, and fiber really is the key. And beyond this product, I always recommend finding healthy, fiber-rich foods that you enjoy, that you can digest. Our bean and veggie gas relief, a product we won't be talking about, but for many of us, beans, legumes would be a great source of fiber, but we don't eat them because they are difficult to digest and they cause gas. We have a product called Bean and Veggie Gas Relief that makes those products more pleasant to enjoy.
Well, there's one review which we'll quickly read. It says, back to normal, which I think is maybe a good way to kind of imagine this, a product that makes you feel like you're back to the way it should be. This is another great product from ProCaps Labs. I have never had any problems putting food in my body. I had a big problem getting what was not needed out of my body. Then I started taking Fiber Mucil and started to notice the difference. Everything was back to normal in a gentle and effective way. If you'd like to order tonight, I showed a few moments ago, I emptied out one of the 1,000 caps bottles, so you see how much you get in terms of value for money. Again, New Year's extra special savings event. So if you're ordering this evening, there's a 61, 83, 67, 20, and 1,000. Savings get larger the higher you go. Andrew said not ever traveling without it. Maybe you want to go for a larger size for every day at home, and then perhaps get one of the smaller sizes that you can take with you in your toiletry bag, making sure you are never, ever without. Final words on Fiber Mucil, Andrew?
Adam, I was just going to say, it's just pennies a day,
yeah.
And fiber is something that many of us struggle with in our diet, and then when we try supplements, we struggle with those supplements. This supplement will not be a struggle. It's affordable. It's easy to swallow. Don't let the size of the capsule mislead you. It's very powerful, but don't let the power make you think that it's going to be a problem. It will be gentle. It will be easy. It delivers without any problems at all.
Andrew, you just mentioned, I believe a moment ago, bean and vegetable gas relief. Our team are telling us that we're showing, yeah, great. We're showing it on hsn.com as well. That's a fantastic product. Again, does not get a lot of airtime, but also provides additional relief.
And what's great about Bean and Veggie Gas Relief, for many of us, foods like beans and cruciferous vegetables and legumes and peas and lentils, we don't eat them because of that gassy discomfort. But our Bean and Veggie Gas Relief can open up open up your diet to a range of foods that are just so wonderfully healthy. They talk about the Blue Zones diet, where the most long-lived people, what they eat. And beans are a staple in the healthiest diets around the world. So to the extent Bean and Veggie Gas Relief can make those available to you again, then it's a healthy, healthy addition to your diet.
Well, just a reminder, at the top of 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the official world launch of Choco Nouveau Cafe. We're excited about that. And then at the end of 10 p.m., stay with us for my pick of the new year from Andrew's line, one of my all-time favorites. I cannot ever do a show without wanting to talk about Ultimate Friendly Flora. Andrew turned me on to this a couple years ago now. I learned all about the facts that this is truly the benefit of the world's finest probiotic, one that doesn't need refrigeration, one that is more stable than ever before, more beneficial than ever before. And Andrew, with this type of number, the most potent, isn't it?
Well, when you're looking at a probiotic product, and we've had 25 billion in our Ultimate Friendly Flora. We have a lower amount in our regular Friendly Flora. But the key to the product are the strains themselves, the specific species of probiotic organisms that we selected. And because there are thousands of organisms, thousands of strains that one can choose from, but what I decided to do was I followed the science. I went to where the research is, and the research are on the most important strains that will most determine our response to our immune system, our digestive system. So our Ultimate Friendly Flora targets those specific strains that have the most research. There's all sorts of exotic strains out there that people make all sorts of interesting claims about. But as far as I'm concerned, the most abundant science targets these strains that we've utilized, and we made sure at 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule, you're getting a quantity that will make a meaningful difference in supporting your digestive system, supporting your immune system, because as much as these probiotic organisms, they're not a part of our body, but these probiotic organisms in our colon, say, outnumber the cells in our body. So there are more probiotic organisms in a healthy colon, or should be, than there are cells in our body.
That's crazy.
That's how important they are to healthy digestion and immune function.
There's so many things, though, that challenge us, and I know we mentioned it earlier, but again, one of the key reasons for me, Andrew, was back to some of the things that we're taking. Maybe in the past it's been the PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors, or things that we're taking, again, for other digestive issues. We need to help put back into our body.
Well, many of us are taking antibiotics, and sometimes, even at low doses, but we take them frequently.
Yes.
Proton pump inhibitors affect the pH of our digestive system.
Right.
When you affect the pH of the digestive system, it'd be like someone changing the thermostat in your house.
Right.
That you're changing a critical component of the environment of these organisms. And as such, you can change the complement, the population, the quantity, the balance of those organisms. So our probiotic organisms are a critical part of who we are. They talk about the gut-brain axis, that there is no separating our gut from how everything else functions in our body, in particular our brain. So as many experts would say, as goes our gut and the probiotic organisms in our gut, so goes our brain and the other systems in our body as well.
Well, just to give you an idea, I have a review that we just pulled up to read to everybody. And again, we invite you at any stage, go on to hsn.com, search Andrew Lessman or vitamins, and you'll certainly see all of Andrew's products. Read the reviews. Take a moment to really understand and to see what people are saying. This one is titled, Can't Live Without This. I absolutely can't live without Ultimate Friendly Flora. I've been taking this since 2015. I've not had any stomach issues since. I was always bloated, could not eat certain things, and always felt awful. I went through many tests for my constant bloating and upset stomach, and they could not find anything wrong. I started taking this and haven't had a problem since. I ran out last year during a move and had to wait to order. I went about 2 weeks without it, and the issues started to come back. I will never be without it again. I bought enough to last 2 years. Thank you, Andrew, for such a great product. But Andrew, once you realize the benefit, it is hard to live without it.
No, a healthy digestive system, a healthy immune system absolutely requires a healthy complement of probiotic organisms. They're not drugs. They're not medicine. This is just a very straightforward part of who we are. And it's been part of who we've developed as human beings. This is how we work. So we can't have a healthy digestive system. We can't have a healthy immune system without a healthy, balanced complement of probiotic organisms. And all we've done in this product is delivered it stable, so you don't have to worry about refrigeration. And we followed the science, delivering the most important organisms at their proper level.
If you'd like to order yours, pricing is fantastic, $30, $60, $90, or $180. A product I take literally without exception, regularly. I never want to be without Ultimate Friendly Flora for a million reasons. Big impact on my life. You have to give it a go. 5-star reviews, plenty of them, 1,400 to be precise. We're going to head over this way to our next item. Just a reminder, if you love Andrew's Choco Nouveau, the world's most delicious, creamiest gourmet chocolate that also helps to lower your cholesterol, 10 p.m. on the dot, we're going to be launching Andrew's brand new cafe version. And we're excited.
Adam, please don't talk about it too much in advance, because I don't think we're going to have enough. So it's just, because I neglected to have it available online when we talked about it as a bonus gift with the Today Special.
Yes.
We didn't bring in that much, so we'll just give it a quick little hint. of what's coming in the future.
We're excited. It's so many new things happening in 2020. This is going to be a good year, Andrew. I can feel it. Talking of good year, we need to talk about our next item, which is to do with having a better year, energy and fat metabolism factors, a wonderful product with regards to maybe some of those lofty goals that we have given ourselves. If you're looking to lose weight, but you're looking to support long-term energy, this is a combination product that can deliver so many benefits. Love this one, Andrew.
This is a product that was originally has its roots over 30 years ago. That was my response to originally those ephedra products on the market.
Right.
And also then they have all these little 2, 3, 4, 5 hour, whatever those energy products are, that I wanted to make a product that supported fat-burning metabolism, that also supported short-term energy, but didn't do it without compromising your health or causing any discomfort or jitters, and also support mid-term and long-term energy. So it's a product that's a blend of nutrients, of specific vitamins in their proper forms, and also a blend of botanicals, and also includes acetyl-L-Carnitine, 200 milligrams. We also have a separate acetyl-L-Carnitine we'll talk about in a moment. If you just want pure acetyl-L-Carnitine, we have a 500 milligram product as well. But acetyl-L-Carnitine is the most important molecule when you talk about fat metabolism. At least carnitine is, right, because you can't move fat to the site in the cells in which it is burned without carnitine. So acetyl-L-Carnitine is the best way to deliver carnitine for fat burning. It also delivers carnitine for your brain, and it's the most important molecule in our memory and brain product. But you get it. That's, again, with my products, no warnings about side effects, only benefits that come, additional benefits.
Real, natural, following the science, all pure. We sometimes take that for granted, but it's important. It's at the heart and soul of everything that Andrew does. These are pure products, Andrew. There's no second best. Second best simply won't do, and that's always what you've been a part of.
And then when we're talking about something like energy and fat metabolism factors, that, again, it's a product that you read the reviews, people talk about well-being.
Yeah.
They talk about feeling better,
yes,
combating fatigue. They talk about it delivers that energy without jitters, without discomfort, without problems with sleep. It's designed to be a product that, again, delivers on the promise these other products talk about, but without the complaints you hear about those other products. And it does it affordably. And again, when it comes to this time of year, there's no such thing as a magic weight loss pill.
Right.
There's magical decisions that we can make.
Right.
But those magical decisions involve changing what we put in our body, changing what we do with our body. And energy and fat metabolism is just intended to be a smart product that supports our smart decisions. And there's nothing more than you can do with a supplement. You can't, unfortunately, if there was a magic pill that everyone could magically appear at their ideal weight, then we'd all be at our ideal weight. Unfortunately, our DNA, our blueprint encourages us to be overweight or obese. It sounds funny to say that,
right,
but in our present society, our present world, we were well designed to be overweight or obese. So it really it requires that we make certain decisions, and as long as we're making those intelligent decisions, why not get some intelligent support?
It gives us a helping hand, there's no doubt about it. 30-60, 183-60. If you're serious about this year, maybe leaning up, toning up, losing weight, and you want to give yourself all the tools, this is something that is very, very highly reviewed and so affordable. $54.90. You're saving more than you're spending on that on the larger size, rather. And Andrew, you just mentioned acetyl-L-Carnitine as well, correct?
Right, and that's also if you just want to target fat-burning metabolism,
right,
acetyl-L-Carnitine, and also want to target supporting and promoting the best brain function, especially as we age, acetyl-L-Carnitine is a critical molecule. Carnitine is essential for all fat-burning metabolism, and what's amazing about our acetyl-L-Carnitine is this is a product that previously didn't cost twice as much as this, right, but it cost more than 5 times what it costs today. So acetyl-L-Carnitine has suddenly become an incredibly affordable product, a downright inexpensive product,
right,
from one that was typically and previously so expensive.
So again, it's that combination. It's fat burning, it's brain health, it's maximizing the fat burning potential, and it's that critical molecule. I mean, I remember, I think it was last year, Andrew, where we kind of really started to see it prominently within your line. And again, based upon price, the largest size is less than $50.
Oh, the reason why it wasn't prominent in my line was I didn't want to sell a product that 360 capsules of it would be around $300.
Right.
So that's the reason it wasn't prominent. Today, it's about a dime a capsule. So at one capsule a day, a year's supply, you're basically, what is that? It ends up being around 15 cents a capsule.
Yeah, sure.
15 cents, probably closer to 13 cents a capsule. So I would have never believed that acetyl-L-Carnitine, the most advanced form of carnitine that not only delivers the carnitine for fat metabolism, which every molecule of fat that gets burned has to be touched by carnitine acyltransferase, a molecule that moves it to the site where it gets burned. But also, I'd arguably say it's among the most important molecules we could deliver to support healthy brain function.
There's a couple of reviews, and obviously they've started to flood in now, again, making it a customer pick. I think Andrew's line has more customer picks than any other line on HSN, which is a real testament to the quality and to how folks love it. Here's what the first review says: can't do without. I recently added this product to my vitamin and supplement routine. What a difference. I have extra energy, but just as Andrew said, not in a jittery, hyper way, just in a feel-good way. I think my mental focus is sharper as well. Nice side effect is that I don't seem to get hungry between meals. It's funny, Andrew, we were saying yesterday, just, you know, with your products, there's no side effects, it's side benefits. There's a big, big difference.
And actually, just on this product alone, I could elaborate on a half a dozen other benefits of this product. Talk about how, in terms of our brain, if we talk about the most important neurotransmitter, if we talk about acetylcholine, guess what? Acetylcholine, the acetyl-L-Carnitine helps promote the synthesis of acetylcholine. So instead of having to warn on all of these products, if you wanted to sit and listen to me for an hour or 2 hours, I could elaborate even more benefits as we dig into the research and the science. So it's one of the benefits of making products that simply follow the natural blueprint and then paying attention to the science that says how we deliver the benefits of that natural blueprint the best. And that's all we basically try to achieve.
The pricing is essentially, I mean, I don't believe I've ever personally seen it any better. It is one of our monthly specials at under $50, and please bear in mind, that's gonna be on FlexPay as well. Free shipping, FlexPay, you have the opportunity to get it home, try it for 30 days, but feel confident about this. The finest form, the best deal that I've seen, and certainly with hundreds of folks ordering. This is a last opportunity, because when the visit's over, the pricing is over. Andrew's been here for the past 48 hours or so. This is a last opportunity to really save a lot of money. Talking of savings, we need to mention healthy hair, skin, and nails. One of the big ones in the Andrew Lessman Hall of Fame is the healthy hair, skin, and nails. Maybe New Year means feeling better, feeling more confident, having that kind of extra va-va-voom because your skin looks more radiant. It's got more smoothness and suppleness. Maybe your hair is stronger, less broken ends. Maybe your nails aren't as brittle as they used to be. Needless to say, it's on your screen, but just to highlight 4,400 five-star reviews, perhaps the most reviews of any product in our history. Andrew, we talk about see the difference, truly see the difference in a matter of days. This product delivers.
And it delivers in the only logical fashion that it can deliver, because you can't change the character, the appearance, the quality of your hair, skin, and nails unless you approach it from the inside of your body where those tissues are made. I mean, that's the reason why this product performs so well, is so well reviewed, because we simply, once again, we follow the science and we deliver the nutrients in their proper form and in a manner that they will be absorbed and they can deliver the benefits to you. That's something that other hair, skin, and nail products don't do so well. And just judging from the reviews where we so often see that I had tried several other hair products or skin or nail products, and they just didn't deliver until I tried yours. Ours is designed to work. It's why it's so consistently, almost unanimously positively reviewed. And it's so affordable today. It's higher potency than it was when we introduced it 30 years ago by almost a factor of 10. Yet it's lower priced than when we introduced it.
Here's a quick couple reviews of what people have said. And again, this is a long list of reviews. This one is from Mary, and Mary makes mention that, wow, outstanding. I originally purchased a hair, skin, and nails product at the drugstore, but after 8 months of no improvement, I switched to Andrew's capsules. Wow, what a difference. Within 3 months, my nails were strong and growing longer every day. My hair was also changed a lot, as well as my skin. This product is on my must-have list permanently. Again, never wanting to be without it. One last one, thicker eyelashes. I've been on the supplement about 3 months now and was pleased with the smoother skin and improved texture of my hair. But my biggest surprise I noticed the other day is the volume of my eyelashes has improved dramatically. At 53, this is something I would never have anticipated. This is now, again, the same word, a permanent part of my daily regimen. Thank you, Andrew. I mean, Andrew, these are strong, very vocal testimonials.
And as strong and vocal as they might seem, there's another few thousand of them that are equally strong, equally impassioned, and that's an eloquent, well-written. I think part of the reason why the reviews are so impassioned is because so many products don't deliver. They make the promise, but they don't deliver. And Healthy Hair, Skin, and Nails is a product that we've also had the benefit, because we pay so careful attention to the feedback we receive. We've had the benefit of the feedback, commentary, critiques on this product since the day it was developed 3 decades ago. And again, a lot of folks have jumped on the bandwagon today, and they, in the last few years, talk about this whole new category of nutritional supplements for beauty, for hair, skin, and nails. We started making our product 3 decades ago. So we've known about it a long time. We've had the experience. We've been reviewing and monitoring the science, and there's nothing really like this product on the marketplace.
And just to pick you up on that, because a lot of folks, I think, don't realize that your products are always seemingly evolving. You never stand still. If something changes with the science, or there's new information or improvements that you can make, you don't compromise. You always look to make it the best it can possibly be.
Well, that's the minute we have an opportunity, whether a new ingredient or a new form of an ingredient, or we can make something more comprehensive or increase its potency, the minute we can do that, we immediately change the formula. You see it constantly. I would imagine our Healthy Hair, Skin, and Nails formula in the last 3 decades has gone through at least, we'd be at like hair, skin, and nails, what do they say, like version 25. So it's something that we're very proud of. It doesn't mean the previous formula wasn't good. It just means that we always want to be the best. And because the science and the ingredient landscape is constantly evolving, so should our formulas. I think it's embarrassing that you could look at some of those leading multivitamins and they haven't changed much at all in anyone's lifetime. And that's just not appropriate. Still using artificial colors and binders and fillers and old forms of nutrients that aren't as effective. That's just embarrassing. We make sure that our products represent the best they can be, and that's something we're willing to constantly change and do the hard work to keep it that way.
Well, pricing today is exciting. It's affordable for everybody to have healthier hair, skin, and nails. I'm going to jump straight to the 360 count because, I mean, look, it's $54.90. A remarkably low price for the most powerful and potent formula that we've ever had from Healthy Hair, Skin, and Nails. A really great opportunity. And again, you've got FlexPay. We can mention the 4,000 plus reviews and we can say that you will see a difference, but you only know when you try it. And we're not, Andrew, we're not talking about, I'm gonna head over this way as we keep the conversation going, but we're not talking about months and months of waiting to see something, you know?
Oh, no, this is something that, depending on the individual, it's just sometimes a matter of just a couple of weeks. Certainly, 30 days is an abundance of time. And typically, the way you see the differences, you see the differences in your nails and hair first, your skin next. And it's pretty simple to understand just given the nature of how those tissues grow. But again, they all grow from the inside out. When we're doing any kind of treatments on the outside of our body, we're basically being like a mortician, an undertaker. Those tissues are dead. So the only opportunity to change those tissues is by giving something to the factory manufacturing them. We are the factory. So we've got to get it in the inside of our body in order for that factory to do a good job on our behalf.
And it's funny you say that, because from the inside out, that's really a perfect segue to phytoceramides, the body's internal moisturizer. This time of year, we had a big discussion about this yesterday. You know, a lot of us feel the negative effects, that our skin is dry and cracked, our nasal passage, our sinuses. This is a wonderful product that I think the more and more people know about it, the more and more people realize what it is and what it can do, the more impressive it becomes.
When you talk about phytoceramides, you're talking about a molecule that in your body is responsible for helping you retain moisture.
Right.
No moisturizer really delivers moisture. What a moisturizer has to do is hopefully help us conserve and preserve the moisture we have so those tissues remain moist, feel healthy, appear moist. We target this product most of the time because we want our skin to look the best. We want to reduce the appearance of wrinkles. We want our skin to look plump and youthful. And yes, that's what this product can do. But this time of year, in the winter, all around the country, we're heating the air. It's drying out our skin. It's challenging for our skin. It's challenging for our airways. It's challenging for our nasal passages. It's challenging for our sinuses and our eyes, let alone our skin. So phytoceramides is something that I thought was a perfect winter special, because we often forget about what we can do to moisturize our tissues. By the way, a product that I've always loved, and here I am promoting somebody else's product. It's something called Simply Saline. It's a product, I think it's made by Arm & Hammer. Okay. It's a nasal spray that just has saline in it. So if someone struggles with really dry nasal passages, of course, talk to your doctor. But it's just, all it is simple saline solution that tends to exert a nice moisturizing effect. And of course, phytoceramides are the molecules our body utilizes to try and hold on to that moisture as best we can. And this time of year, with humidity where it is and heating the air and drying the air, our body really holds on for dear life when it comes to moisture, and it struggles to do a good job on our behalf. It's really difficult given how low the humidity is.
Well, if you're looking to order the pricing, because it is a special purchase right now, if you look at the chart for our winter special savings, 30, 60, 120 or 240, this is where the price is going to be. Because you're ordering it right now, Andrew's here, the visit's continuing. Well, this is the final show, obviously, but significant savings to be made. Well,
I'm not quite there. I wish I was there, because if I were there, it would mean I wasn't fasting. I haven't eaten since I was on TV last night. I haven't eaten since the last time everyone saw me 24 hours ago.
So this is the water fast that you were telling me about.
I'm doing a water fast. I do them periodically. It's just something I've always done. I find fasting to be very beneficial. So I wish I were there, because I would have eaten well. But and don't do that on your own kind of thing. It's only something you do if you have experience with it. A lot of folks are doing intermittent fasting, right. But finding ways to eat a little bit less and challenging our body a little in that way with your doctor's approval is a great thing to do.
Well, Andrew, just while we're on the line of phytoceramides, I know the partner that we've been talking about is our Algal DHA. If we could just spend a moment or two here, that would be wonderful as well. I'll switch the pricing around. But they do kind of go together, don't they?
Well, our Algal DHA, it's a plant-based omega-3. We, of course, have, and we can maybe get a graphic of it, we, of course, have our maximum essential omega-3,
yes,
our fish oil-based omega-3 product. But some folks are trying to be more plant-based, more environmental, or vegetarian or vegan. And for those folks, we recently came out with our Algal DHA. Algal is the adjective that relates to algae. Algae is a plant, a unicellular plant. So our Algal DHA provides the most important omega-3, the principal fat in your brain, the principal fat in your eyes. So our Algal DHA delivers that, and we've done for the winter special, because it's also, omega-3s work hand in hand with phytoceramides to moisturize our tissues, our skin, our sinuses, our eyes. So we have an incredibly special price. Our Algal DHA has never been a Today Special. I'm not sure it will ever be a Today Special, but even if it were, it wouldn't be at this good a price. This is a very special price we just decided to do for this special winter special.
Well, we actually have for everybody as well the Essential Omega-3. If you're looking to order that, it's 078570. So that's also available. Please bear in mind, no fishy aftertaste in either of these, of course. An amazing product.
And you're on the large size. I wasn't kidding about the savings. On the large size, you're saving $100.
We're looking at that $159.90 down to $59.90. That's a gigantic saving if you're ordering during this event. So that's exciting to do as well. Andrew, we've mentioned some of the challenges certainly with phytoceramides with regards to the time of the year and the cold weather and the dryness and everything else. In that same vein, this season also comes with a lot of folks who aren't feeling particularly, as we say in England, tickety-boo. It's not always a good time of year. I don't need to translate that, do I, Andrew? Please tell me you know what that means.
No, you don't. But I would have been willing to bet anyone, any sum, that no one would have said tickety-boo during my show for the rest of my life, not just tonight. So I would have lost that bet. So,
it was the first word that came to mind. I don't know. I just went with it. But truly, this helps you.
There are many Americans who understood that, I'm sure, but who feel in tip-top shape.
There we go.
Again, what I always say, it's... there's, again, as I say, there's no magic weight loss pill. There's no magic pill for colds and flu. There just isn't. And even though this product is virtually perfectly reviewed, the magic in terms of the colds and flu is our immune system. So all we can do is make decisions, whether it be in terms of our sleep, in terms of our diet, in terms of our activities, in terms of our supplementation. The target has to be supporting our immune system, and that's where the opportunity is.
The reviews are really compelling. I'd love to read a couple here because this is a fascinating product to me. People are delighted and overwhelmed and excited about this product. Year in and year out, again, it becomes one that they don't want to live without. This one's from Gabby in Ohio, and she says, great product. My doctor does not believe in supplements. I told him both my husband and I stayed healthy this winter and attribute this to our taking vitamins and taking the immune factors. He did not have any answer to that. I have gotten many of my family and friends to try Andrew Lessman's products, and they all love the fact that they feel so much better. Keep up the good work, Mr. Andrew Lessman. Do one more. This product is amazing. Sam says, I took 2 capsules each day all through the fall and winter and didn't have any health issues. I take public transportation to work in a large office, so there is definitely exposure there. I was healthy as a horse all winter and just bought a new bottle to continue taking them through the spring and summer. I feel protected against germs while I'm taking it. And Andrew, it's all down to that powerful blend of nutrients and botanicals that you've jammed into here.
Exactly, and this is literally jammed into there. We use no additives, so that small capsule only contains the critical vitamins to support your immune system, as well as the botanicals. And like the hair, skin, and nail product and so many products, it's evolved over the decades. My first immune support product was over 30 years ago, and even when I was on QVC, we had a product. Our immune support product, we called it Vital Life Factors. And again, the entire conversation about the product wasn't about it's directly acting on cold viruses or flu viruses or anything like that, which other companies love to talk about.
Sure.
But it's all about simply supporting the immune system. That's our only opportunity, is making sure we do things, getting adequate sleep, adequate hydration, again, because keeping those mucous membranes moist that we were just talking about with phytoceramides and algal DHA or even our omega-3s, keeping those mucous membranes moist helps them function better as a better barrier for our body. So again, hydration is key. That's why your doctor always says drink plenty of fluids. Yeah. Fluids are key to a healthy functioning immune system.
Well, pricing on this, fabulous as we wrap it on up. $30, $60, $180, or $360 from $13.90 to $79.
I noticed my computer's on a little delay, but I noticed you opened the capsule.
Yes.
And the one thing about that capsule, our standardized echinacea and golden seal, those are very potent smelling herbs.
Yes.
You don't necessarily smell them in the bottle. But if you open that capsule, I'm sure you noticed how potent it was when you did that.
I did indeed, Andrew. That's the amazing ingredients you've got jammed in there, as we say. But it's a wonderful product. We encourage you to try it. I'm going to head over this way now. Gosh, the hour is flying by. Remember, this is the final show of the visit. We're thrilled to have Andrew on the phone. So, Andrew, are you feeling, obviously, the first day of the water fast that you mentioned, are you feeling good?
I feel good, but it would be an extreme understatement to say I'm hungry. And I called in earlier on Muriel's show, and they had some of her favorite recipes from her cookbooks, my favorite recipes,
right.
Of course, on the set with Muriel and Callie. And I couldn't look at the screen because it just was horrible to see that her chocolate cake that she makes. It was so in a nutshell, I'm starving.
Oh.
But it gets better around day 3. So I just know the first 2 days are difficult, and then it gets easy.
And do you find it hard to sleep? Will you find it hard to sleep tonight because you're so hungry, or is it okay?
I will be a little bit restless tonight, yes, because, your body likes to tell you you're hungry. Go out and do some hunting and gathering, find some food. So the first night, the sleep will be a little restless, but then subsequently it gets better. And so for me, I'll just do a little bit of nighttime tonight, and that kind of takes the edge off my sleep, my little nighttime supplement.
Well, we love to be on this journey with you. Thank you for sharing it with us on the show this evening. There's a lot still to talk about and a lot to get to. It's a big time of the year. Andrew's doing a water fast. Maybe you're thinking about getting healthier, being more active, eating maybe better, hydrating more in the new year. Let's look after our whole self. One of the parts of our whole self that maybe needs a little love is, of course, our liver. And this is our PC Liver and Brain, an extraordinary supplement. There's a lot of things, whether it's going to be drink, whether it's going to be prescription medications, there's a lot of things that really put our liver through the ringer, Andrew.
And as I was saying the other day, the liver, I say on one hand, it's the Rodney Dangerfield of organs. It doesn't, if you're old enough to know Rodney Dangerfield, it just doesn't get any respect. And then on the other hand, it's the James Brown of organs, because it's the hardest working organ without question. We know how hard our brain works and how hard our heart works. But the more you learn about the liver, you'll absolutely know beyond any doubt that it works far more than our heart or our brain. It's doing the dirtiest work as well. And because of that, it has some incredible capacities, incredible qualities. And one of those is the ability to regenerate itself. But to really take advantage of that ability to regenerate itself, you need the raw materials that our liver is made of. And phosphatidylcholine is the principal raw material. This product also contains other phospholipids called phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylinositol, and those are the other 2 principal phospholipids in the liver. So this is basically the building blocks of our liver and the building blocks of our brain that, as we talked about before, DHA is the principal fatty acid, and these are the phospholipids that comprise the tissues of our brain as well.
It's Andrew, forgive me if I'm speaking incorrectly, but it seems really affordable tonight. $49 for the larger size. That's a fabulous price.
No, this is one of our products that we've had for over 30 years, and you're paying tonight less than if you looked at the suggested retail price of this product over 30 years ago, it would have cost you more. Yeah. So it's incredibly affordable. At most, 2 capsules a day. I typically take 1 capsule per day. And so at 1 capsule a day, you're once again at about 13 cents a capsule, so a little more than a dime a capsule. What we used to pay when I was a little kid, when they don't have them anymore, phone booths. Right. I remember you used to have to put a dime in a phone booth. So many of my products, I'm very proud of the fact that you're talking about a dime a capsule. Right. Fibromucil was less than a dime a capsule, so they're so affordable. They're most measured in pennies a day.
And then letting me know, Andrew, just to remind everyone at home that this is, of course, your last visit, as it were, until February. And I believe it's the back half of February that we're next scheduled to be together, correct?
Yeah, I'm here at I'm back in, I'm still in Florida, but I'm back at HSN, I think the last week of February. So,
Okay.
so there's going to be a little bit of a reprieve. So, but I will be back and I'll bring some very exciting things. Well, I'll let everybody know. Our circulation vein support, there are a lot of questions about circulation in the questions for this show, and where do I start? So I'm trying to answer them as we go along here. But circulation and vein support will be our key today's special. And also turmeric when we come back in February. So if you could hold off, that's going to be some incredible savings. And we've made some brand new introductions to that circulation vein product.
So we're excited about that. So that's again in the last week of February. Just before we move away from our liver, let's just kind of mention the liver antioxidants. This is another product that, Andrew, does this go hand in hand? Would I take both of these?
I do. I take a capsule of each every day.
Okay.
If I might be having wine, I might take an extra capsule of each. But the liver antioxidant extracts, we talked about before how phosphatidylcholine, that's the critical 2/3 of the membrane surface area of our liver is phosphatidylcholine. So that's the critical building block of our liver, the critical building block of our brain. Liver antioxidant extracts, what that really supports and promotes is the detoxification process. Our liver is responsible for detoxifying our body.
Right.
And we need to also focus on detoxifying our liver. And again, phosphatidylcholine is the vital raw material for the unique regenerative process of our liver. Only our liver can regenerate itself. And the liver antioxidant extracts, the milk thistle standardized for silymarin, the turmeric standardized for curcumin, and of course the artichoke extract standardized for cynarin. These are all targeting and supporting that detoxification and promoting that regenerative process.
Andrew, I just opened up one of the capsules. It's a beautiful color, isn't it?
Well, that's a combination of the ingredients. Mostly turmeric is lending, the curcuminoids in turmeric is lending to that color. But also, important to point out, both the silymarin present in milk thistle and the curcuminoids present in turmeric, they're inherently not well absorbed. If you complex them with fat, you make them incredibly well absorbed. So we have complexed both of them with fat. And guess what fat I chose? I chose a phospholipid.
Right.
I chose phosphatidylcholine.
Right.
Because phosphatidylcholine is 2/3 of the membrane surface area of our liver and also our brain, or 20% of the phospholipids in our brain. So again, it all makes sense. The more you analyze the products, the more you look into how we go about making them, the more easy it is to understand why they are so special and different.
And just while we have a moment before the official launch of our Choco Nouveau Cafe, which is coming up next, Andrew, it's maybe a good kind of time in the show to show everybody some video of where all of these vitamins and supplements are made live from Henderson, as it were, in an all-solar-powered facility, which in recent months and the past couple of years has actually grown tremendously.
Yeah, I think even when we were much smaller, a decade or so ago, we were still the largest all-solar-powered facility in the world. Certainly the largest non-government-owned. I'd imagine some government somewhere has put together a facility larger. But as far as a private facility, there's nothing even close to the size of our facility that's all solar-powered and has no carbon footprint. So we're several 100,000 square feet of office and then warehouse and then production space. And there's no carbon footprint. And making these vitamins is a very energy-intensive process. Doing so in Henderson, Nevada, especially when it's hot in the summer, requires a lot of energy to cool the facility. But there's no fossil fuels being burned. So whether it's just being smart about polluting the planet or if it's something that you care about is climate change and global warming, regardless, we go about doing our work and we keep the planet clean. Our products are 100% pure and additive-free. So you don't have to worry about putting anything in your body you don't want. And you don't have to worry about us putting anything into the environment that you don't want. And there's no other company that I'm aware of, supplement company or otherwise, that's made this kind of investment in your experience and also the environment, the planet as well.
And also an investment in innovation and pioneering in so many respects. And that leads us to our first product of our second hour. We've been talking about it for a while now. Choco Nouveau, the world's first cholesterol-lowering gourmet chocolate, creamy and delicious. Andrew, tonight, there's not a lot to go around, but you have brought to life, you and your team, Choco Nouveau cafe version, organic fair trade chocolate with coffee. You gotta tell us all about this. I can't wait to sample it and try it. This is very exciting.
What it just shows that often the simplest solution, the most natural solution is the best solution. And all our Choco Nouveau is, we start with organic fair trade chocolate. We add our cholesterol-lowering ingredient that delivers dark chocolate with the texture, the creamy texture of milk chocolate. There's no chocolate like it in the world. So then we were trying to do all sorts of difficult, complicated, fancy ways to incorporate sort of a yummy coffee flavor into our Choco Nouveau, because that was requested, getting hundreds, if not thousands of requests. But what we did when we couldn't figure this out eventually, I just thought perhaps all we should do is grind up some organic fair trade coffee beans, delicious organic fair trade coffee beans, and see what happens when we mix them in with our Choco Nouveau. And you don't have to worry about caffeine because there's only 5 milligrams of caffeine in a square. A cup of coffee is well over 100, so there's only 5 milligrams per square. But what this has created, it's like a version of like a Nestle's Crunch Bar, but it just has a little crunchy texture of the coffee bean, but a subtle crunchy texture. It melts in your mouth because it has the texture of milk chocolate, even though it's still dark chocolate. I'm salivating while I talk about it. This is terrible.
This is torture, Andrew.
This while I'm fasting. I haven't eaten for 24 hours. But it just has a hint, because 90% of the piece is still chocolate. Only 10% of it is the coffee bean, but it just creates this perfect, incredible blend of dark, rich chocolate with the creamy texture of milk chocolate, and then the subtle crunch and flavor of coffee. It is truly amazing. I never would have dreamed it would come out this good. I would have been thrilled if it was half as good. And it is now my favorite. We only have it in the 74%, which is true dark chocolate.
Yes.
But it really is amazing. And I think